big bang bang.
I got the wrong girl.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to PixelHangover.com. Ryan here with you. And this is our first episode of a new series we're going to call Rewind, where we basically take games that came out a month ago, 3 months ago, 7 years ago, doesn't matter, and kind of give them a little bit of spotlight on, maybe they were missed a little bit, it kind of fell through the cracks and deserved a little bit more look. And so we're just going to play them, kind of dig into a little bit, let you know what we like, what we don't like, and so forth. So I fully expect the series to change and adjust, and we'll hit our stride. But I thought it was it's worth filling some of those gaps where we maybe have some slow weeks before the big rush hits, and go back and visit some of these games that we didn't give much coverage and a lot of other people didn't. But this is called Remember Me. This was on the PS3, 360, and the PC. We're playing on the 360 version here, and I gotta be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised with this game. It combines a number of different type of games. I'm gonna try to cover what I can in the 15 or so minutes we have with this game. The footage you're seeing here is about an hour and a half in during mission 1. There's a mission 0, so this is the second mission in. The combat, as you can see, maybe you can figure it out, is very similar to like Batman Arkham Asylum or Arkham City, the Arkham series. I would definitely put it in that category. It deals with combos and stringing them together and dealing with multiple enemies coming at you at the same time. It's got the exclamation point over the enemy that's going to attack you if you aren't engaged with them at the moment. So, if you like that sort of combat, I think you're going to really like this. You actually get to build your own kind of combos and stuff. And based on how you combo things, you actually can get some health. So if you Y, X, X, see that? Boom, I got health. So, it took me a little while to figure out their little system and what they want you to do. But once you figure it out, it's really slick. Now, it combines that. It has a lot of traversing, climbing Uncharted-like, Tomb Raider-like climbing up and down things. It takes place in the future, 2884, I believe, in Paris, in a alternate, Paris universe. And it has to do with basically memories. Everybody is allowed to erase this company has the ability to erase your bad memories, put in pleasant memories, and then share everybody's memories, which gives them obviously a ton of power. So, and of course, like as you would expect, breeds an underground rebel group, which is kind of what you're dealing with here. So, it has a very I hesitate to use this, but kind of Half-Life 2 intro. Much shorter than Half-Life 2 intro, but it's very similar to that. It is very linear as far as the game is concerned. Extremely stylized, really good music that kicks in at great times. And here you're going to see some of the climbing that is involved. It's very slick. It works really well. It kind of big time handholds you when you look at the arrows. And there's really not much left up to the imagination about where you're supposed to go. And even the collectibles, as I'm sure you'll see me pick up a couple here, are pretty much right out there in the open. It does have a chapter select, and it doesn't seem to be too hard, even on the hardest difficulty, but there may be some frustrating points. I will say that a section, while I'm climbing along here, there's a section after this that you actually get to rewind a cutscene with your joystick. It's a really interesting play mechanic, and I really like it. You have to go back and change something in the past to alter what happens in the future, and it's really interesting how they do it. It took me about 20 minutes before I figured that one out. Now that's not part of this video because I think ultimately that'd be kind of boring to watch. But yeah, I mean the combat's solid, the visuals are great. Obviously it's PS3 360. Probably is not going to look nearly as good as the PC, but it's got a lot of style. I will say the camera's a little janky. It's a little rough. Like if you want to subtly move left or right, you might not get the precision that you're looking for when it comes to the camera. But another thing is one of those games that there are collectibles, and usually if you see a little, boy, it looks like I might be able to get there, you might as well, because there's probably going to be a collectible there. That's kind of been my experience. A lot of cool, like, almost, if you played in the last couple Splinter Cells, you get the text kind of floating in the air type thing. There's a lot of that. So that's really the the sign for that store. So a couple of different ways to get health. These little stations, and also during combat, as you saw earlier. But it's one of those games that it's if it comes out, if you see it for the $19 to $30 range, and you like Batman Arkham type combat and some exploration, a little bit of exploration. It's just solid game with a kind of an interesting story. It's definitely worth that, and definitely worth spending a little bit of time in this world. It actually, once you get past a couple levels here, it gets into like a really clean looking, futuristic, not so dirty, really cool world that reminds me a lot of like Mirror's Edge world. Not quite that clean, but along those lines. Here's a collectible right here. So the voice acting seems pretty solid. The story seems pretty well laid out. But again, it is extremely linear. So even though they might give you the appearance of some exploration here, there's not really any. So keep that in mind. See, right around the corner, it was kind of obvious there'd be something there, and there was. You feel pretty good traversing, the different levels, different buildings. It's definitely, it's one of those games that you wonder what their expectations were sales-wise, because they have a decent game on their hands. It's one of those games that I could see should have been a bigger hit when it came out. It came out in June of 2013. And I heard a few people say, hey, this is not a bad game. It's pretty solid. But boy, it just died real quick. I don't remember what else came out around there. I don't think there's a lot. But I'm assuming the sales weren't great. But maybe you can catch tail, wind of cult, favorites or whatnot. I wanted to kick that guy off the ledge there. It wouldn't let me. So you can kind of see, it's got a lot going for it, and here's gonna be a little more combat. Right there's a memory. I was remembering a memory. Just take a look at this combat. It's real smooth, real slick. The first encounter that I came across got my ass kicked, and I was like, whoa. That's kind of how these kind of games are until you figure out the flow, the counters and all that kind of stuff. Definitely got to manage more than one enemy at a time. Very, like I said, Assassin's Creed or Batman Arkham-like.
What was that thing?
That's a good sign.
And the outfit I'm in right now is my outfit I was in when I was going to get my brain scrambled. So this is what I escaped in. The escape's pretty fun, pretty cool in that first level, but you definitely change outfits here. You're trying to remember who you are too. That's part of it. You are pretty much I think wiped memory-wise. This is so some pretty cool traversing. The camera really like you said, dramatically shifts right there to really focus on what you're supposed to do. There's not really any way to screw this up. I haven't fallen off or had an issue when it comes to this kind of stuff yet, and I'm quite a ways into the game. So, I mean, and this kind of thing can make or break a game, but it is really slick, works really well. Like I said, it definitely is hand-holding. As you can see, there's a yellow arrow everywhere I'm supposed to go.
Nice shortcut.
A lot of little scripted little events like that and so forth, but kind of keeps the attention going and also the dialogue going sometimes. It's kind of a good way to waste time. This is great. Let's watch this. I did not... So there are mini type puzzle things you got to figure out too, but nothing too serious. Let's go ahead and let this reload, and I can show you. Next time I did it, coming up here, I didn't know if I'd pull it off either, but obviously long loading times. That's something we're exposing right there. All right. And I believe I tried to jump right there, and it wouldn't do it. So you got to do a running jump. I learned that. All right. Maybe that's right here. This is where I learned that you need a running jump. Yep. That did not work. So, let's see if I can time this right. And I am surprised that I made this. Watch this. Boom. That was really close. Checkpoints seem to be quite generous. The few times that I have died, it doesn't seem like I have to go back very far to get back to where I was, which is a good thing. This is kind of a cool. I always think of
Don't stop, Nilin.
Halo, the original Halo on those kind of sequences right there. And there's no way that I landed that ladder, which suggests that we're definitely on a scripted type
No going back.
sequence there. You can slide down the ladder. Did a lot of that in Splinter Cell recently. By the way, the new Splinter Cell is pretty tough. Just want to put that out there. Alright, pick up this little gem, and then this is kind of an example of how you just kind of got to figure out, and I decided to go straight up over here. Yeah. See, sometimes the mark was way up there, so there really wasn't a marker right away. So it's a little off sometimes, but you know, just wanted to show off a little bit of this game and a little bit of the combat and how you move around the world. It's very well done, and it definitely needs and deserves a look if you're into this type of game. So wanted to spotlight some of the gameplay and just kind of cover it in our first episode of Rewind. I think Deadpool might be the next one that we throw up, another game that kind of just came and went, but by a very good studio, High Moon, which I've always liked their games, so I'm very excited to get into that. But yeah, this new series that we hope to give a little light to some of these older games, and hope you enjoyed it. And I'm going to let this play out. There's another 5 minutes or so of gameplay. I always like to do that so you can hear the audio of the game, the quality, and that kind of stuff. So thanks for checking things out. We definitely appreciate it. Comments would be appreciated. Thumbs up and all that stuff. And we just thanks for checking it out, and have a great day.
That outfit.
Pretty, but you're not my style.
Johnny's always there, laughing with dark. Ma'am junkie.
Johnny wants my heart for Christmas. You know that, huh, Tommy?
You're safe here, Bob. Don't sweat it.
Well, I'll be! Edge did it! Come here, sweetheart!
Nayland, it seems like a lifetime.
I'm sorry. I have no memory of you.
You really can't remember this pretty boy face of mine?
I'm sorry.
Hell. Well, we all lost bits and pieces in the war. But you're free, sweetheart. That's what counts.
I guess. Feels like I'm lost.
First things first, sister. Let's get you out of those straps. That glove over there? It's yours. I rescued it from your safe house, along with your fancy combat skin. Lucky thing they caught you on a day off. Now this is 100% Nilin. Way above the model I used to use. It's beyond me, sister. You're the only one who can use it.
What did they do to you?
Down there, in La Bastille. Unlike you, I had to stay for the whole program. Well then, let's get you changed. Your combat skin is in the locker.
call Johnny! The big advantage with the natives is they've got the memory of a goldfish. No risk of him turning you over to Olga Sedova.
The bounty hunter? Is she dangerous?
Determined. She'll turn the slum inside out to catch you.
Not just to catch you. Typical brain rat. Barely outside and already working.
Dylan?
This is for you, David.